Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we'd like to call upon the next speaker, who's been active in the space of real estate and infrastructure for the past 29 years. A chairman of Indus Water and Institute Private Limited, which has been instrumental in setting up incubator and accelerator, specifically for water sector and waterway sector in India. Also, he is the managing director for Sasha Infrastructure Private Limited. Romil is also an advisory council of Maharashtra Center for Innovation, Progressive Regulation and Awareness in Water. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Romil Samuel, the chairman, and he's going to explain us the Indus Water Institute, a BSc funded company, which is for startups, technologies and solutions. So over to you.
I must tell you a little secret. I actually came here with two presentations. One was before lunch and one was after lunch. Because after lunch, people are a bit sleepy, so I said, let me have a powerful presentation that will wake everyone up. And Mr. Page has been kind enough to give me 15 minutes, so I will quickly go to my presentation. I have two basic contentions to make here today. My first contention is that India does not have a water problem. And my second contention is that the government policy needs to be modified to meet the 2024 targets. I will go through that after taking you briefly through the current situation that is there as I see it. These are the fact sheets of India, and we all understand this, and this is for everyone to see. We understand, even the minister stated this morning, that 70% of the water is contaminated in this country. We also understand that, India is the largest user of groundwater. This is an issue that the minister has also stated today. We are conscious of all these problems. We are conscious of the variations in the rainfall, the falling of the groundwater, and these are the facts that have been put out by Niti Aayog. So these are undisputable facts that are before us. And this is what is happening at the ground level, how many thousands and lakhs of people and children are being affected on a daily basis in India. Now, my first contention is that India does not have a water crisis, because I truly believe that we are actually a blessed country. The problem is we don't have water management. And I believe that with simple management and simple discipline by the larger population, this problem can actually be tackled in a very, very short time. This is from an article just 2 days ago, just on Sunday. This area in Shahpur, which is just about 30 kilometers as the bird flies from Bombay, he does not have water to drink, and they're filling wells with water, tanker water. This is an area which has between 1,500 to 1,700 millimeters of rainfall. So if this is not a management issue, then what can this be? There is no reason why people should suffer with this kind of rainfall. These are the challenges that we face. We are facing. So my second approach is we need a bottom-up approach. We need to solve problems at the ground level, at the micro level. The minister and most of the government are speaking about a macro-level approach, about interlinking rivers, about creating new dams. I don't say that this is a wrong approach. I only say it's an incomplete approach, because you require a micro-level approach to the macro problem. So at every household, every citizen has to be made aware that just like the money he has in the bank, which is limited, the water we have in our tap is limited. Until we get that concept clear into our minds, I think we are a long way from any solution. And as much water as we provide, we will be losing it. I'm basically going to take you for a micro-level approach essentially because what we do in Indus Water is we get startups who are forming small micro-level solutions. We fund them, we encourage them, we structure them, and then we put them out there because we believe that with that input, these problems can be solved at the ground level. From people who are basically putting a new washer onto a tap, right through IoT, computers, and innovative technology. This is what we are actually trying to achieve through Indus Water and spread and create a micro-level approach. So it's a bottom-up approach to solving the water crisis. It's interesting to know that New York City, which we all know of, does not have a filtration system. 90% of New York's water is unfiltered water. And this is shocking because we only think that if you have $1 billion filtration plant, that's going to work. But a city like New York, which is supposed to have the best water in the US, has an unfiltered system. They actually have marshlands and they have wetlands, which is curing 90% of the water in New York City. And this has saved them $10 billion in infrastructure investment and is saving them 100 million US per year. So why are we only thinking of large schemes and large capital costs? Let us look at micro schemes which do not require capital upfront. A similar situation like that, we can do it even with plants. Just like New York City is done on a large scale, we can do it in plants. We have done several of our, one of our incubators is setting up different units with just basically a tank, as you can see, and with different kind of plants there, which is curing the water to 100%, the gray water 100%. So simple solutions like this can actually have a bottom-up approach. It does not require significant investment, and it can impact. So in your house, in your building, in your farmhouse, just do that. Just do that. If you are so concerned, and you'll have all come today so far away, taking all the trouble to listen to the water problem, go back home and impact your building, impact your farmhouse, impact the little area that you can. Don't depend on the government for everything. I always believe, don't act like a beggar in front of the government. You did not do this, or blame the politician, you did not do this. Have you done it in your building? Have you done it in your house? And this is a couple of solutions which we are promoting, and we hope that at some point of time we'll have some impact. This is one of them. We have another simple solution. I suggest that all the buildings in Mumbai city should be disconnected from the sewer system. Simple. Because there is a grey water treatment plant. We are promoting this company. This is the Laguna Innovations. This is a unit from Israel, which we are promoting. You attach it into your building and you have a zero discharge. Simple. If the Municipal Corporation of Bombay gives a 10% incentive to you, saying that I'll cut 10% of your property tax, right? Why would I not put a 25 to 50 lakh rupee machine, which gives me a zero discharge? I live in a building, today an average flat in a building in Bombay is 2 crores to 5 crores. If you have 100 flats in your building, you mean you cannot spend 50 lakhs of rupees to have a zero discharge? I have suggested to several institutions in India, including the building I sit in, which is the Bombay Stock Exchange. I said, let's put this machine and disconnect from the sewerage system. Why can't we do that? Why can't we take responsibility for the pollution that we are creating? Why should we wait for the government? Why should we wait for the honorable minister to look at that? These are solutions that are available, and it's not only available with us, they are available globally, which can be implemented in this country. We also have the solutions which the honorable minister talked about, fluoride and arsenic. In the village areas, these large projects are not going to work. We require technologies that, for lack of a better word, I say we should use idiot-proof technologies. So it's just a red button and a green button to start the water and a red button to say. So we have created a machine, one of our incubators, which is completely solar powered, that can stand alone in any village and give and treat arsenic, can treat fluoride, and does not have any sludge. So these kind of innovations are constantly coming, and all these young 22, 25-year-old engineering students come up with this. These are solutions at the ground level for the millions of small farmers who are working in and drinking contaminated water, because 50% of their time is wasted due to diarrhea and those kind of, and there's no reason for it. My logic is that there is no reason for it. You know, if there was a logic and we're just waiting for the government, that the government will do this interlinking of rivers, and then 30 years down the time, I will get clean water in my tap, just forget it. It's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to happen. But in the interim, you mean I cannot invest 2 lakhs of rupees on one in a village? Or I cannot invest 50 lakhs in my building? I think that's ridiculous. And our approach is actually a micro approach. We also have things like this disaster management powder. We know, this is one of the kids whose father works with us. So they took this nice video of this kid using this little powder. This is by a Ukrainian scientist who we have been backing for a couple of years. And this is an emergency water purifier where effectively when there's a disaster, a flood or something, what actually happens, the sewer water and the drinking water gets mixed, and the first impact of a disaster is normally that the water gets contaminated and there are the waterborne diseases. So we have a simple packet which is, as you can see, it's the size of a small pouch, which you just mix with the water and it cleans the water within half an hour, which you can drink. So these kind of things can actually affect a disaster. When there's a flood in the area, the roads are wiped out, it's inaccessible, whether in Himachal Pradesh or in North India or in Bangladesh, you can just do this water and it even clears the arsenic in the water. Now, the problem with arsenic, of course, is how do you dispose it off? So this Ukrainian scientist has actually created this powder which converts the arsenic 5, which is poisonous, to arsenic 3, and so you can actually effectively just throw it into the ground. So my contention is the government really needs to re-examine and add to its policy of macro level changes and shift even and as much to micro level solutions if we want to see a solution to the water crisis in our lifetime. Thank you so much. And if there's any questions, I'm always available. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel.